What's going on, guys, and welcome to a brand new Battlelands Royale video. So this video is going to be action-packed because not only do we have the Gus skin winners to announce, we're also going to be taking it back to Season 1 of Battlelands Royale to compare it to Season 11. So smash the like button if you're hyped for this, guys. So if you think you can guess which season was my favourite, drop a comment right now, guys. Now, before we jump into some Season 1 matches, this video is actually sponsored by the incredible Affinity Photo app, which you can nab yourself a copy of on Windows, Mac, or iPad. There is a link in the description to download this amazing app, guys. The main reason that I wanted to share Affinity Photo with you is because it is quickly becoming the key tool that I use for editing thumbnails for my own YouTube videos. It's also good for game images or just editing photos in general, and I'm going to show you a couple of examples of the way that I use Affinity Photo. So if you're making a YouTube thumbnail, you have to remember these dimensions. It's 1280 by 720 pixels, and this is where we're going to create our thumbnail. So we've got the assets, so obviously you need things like backgrounds, arrows, and obviously game characters. So now we've kind of fiddled around, we've got them positioned. It's not enough to just export it there, and this is where Affinity comes in to really make this something special. So one of my favorite things about Affinity Photo is the slider on the right hand side, which has all of the effects in. Then you just have some checkboxes, which makes this really simple to mix and match. So we're going to begin by working on the arrow, and we're going to look at the different things we can do to make this stand out. So to add a nice little drop shadow here, then we can mess around with the radius, the offset, the intensity, of course. We're going to have this slightly offset. You have a nice little wheel that you can use here to rotate that drop shadow. Drop shadows are really important, just a subtle effect, but if you do that to most of the elements on your screen, it's going to make an interesting thumbnail. Now, if we move on to the game character, we can do the same thing, but I like to kind of add an outline, and this can be for your own gaming pictures for Instagram or other social channels. And there is so many different things we can do to this to alter the defining appearance. So you can see here there's a 3D button as well. You have the simple opacity and radius options, but if you click the little settings icon, you can get through to much more customizable options. So once again, Affinity Photo coming through here with the depth of features. And I encourage you guys, if you download this through the link in the description, to just fiddle around a bit and find the things that work for you. Because you know, the best thumbnails on YouTube are ones that are creative and do things that other people don't do. So you want to try and find your own unique style. Now we move on. This is one of my favorite settings. Not good for a thumbnail, but really good for kind of like promotional materials, or if you just want to get the outline of your characters or of a photo of yourself or anything for that matter. So if you go to the gradient overlay, which is at the bottom of the effects panel, we've only got white and black selected, but you can see there it just gives you a complete outline of the character that we're using. And Affinity Photo has a beautiful color wheel where you can select the intensity of the color and then just rotate around and choose the different colors in your gradient. Maybe for like the season 12 leaks video, I might use something like this to put a question mark over the skins, and a really professional way to highlight your characters. But this is what I was talking about. I wanted to add an outer glow. So you want to select the radius. It's quite hazy, quite foggy. So we're going to clean that up just by pressing the settings icon. And once again, we can just ram the intensity right up to the top, which gives it a solid line. And then we can decide the radius too. This obviously makes it stand out. And if you contrast this against drop shadows and outer glows, the mix of the two will really make different parts of the thumbnail stand out. And it's starting to look more like a normal thumbnail now. We have the character in place. We have the arrow with the drop shadow as well. We want to whack on the drop shadow to our character as well. And now we're going to look at adding some text to our thumbnail. So they have loads of options for text here. I'm actually blown away with how easy this is to use. So we click the text symbol on the left hand side, and we'll just add in the word wow. Lots of different fonts. Obviously you can download your own, add them to your library as well. We found the font we wanted. Look, we can just click and drag the text. Then we want to add our outline, which can be used for the text as well. So not just pictures, not just objects. We put on the outline. Then we want to add some gradient text, utilizing these lovely color sliders once again. And we're starting to get a feel now. You've got elliptical, radial. You can mess around with the different ways you want your gradient to be displayed through the text itself. You can see that you can really set it up exactly how you want to have it. And then once you've done that, you want to have yourself an outline or maybe a drop shadow as well, just to make that text be a little bit bolder. And if we just pinch and zoom out, you can see how the thumbnail is really starting to look ready now. Now to export it, just go to File and Export. There's also a shortcut for that too. And then you have all the different options. We're going to put it into PNG, but you have every single file size you can think of there. And there it is, guys, exported, ready to be put onto YouTube. So that's pretty neat, right? Well, I actually have 15 licenses of Affinity Photo. So they've also got a designer and a publisher. So if you'd like to win a copy of this software, all you need to do is hit the like button on this video, drop a comment right now, guys. Winners will be picked when this video can roll over 1,000 likes. So like I said, 15 copies. And if you have a Windows PC, a Mac, or an iPad, you could be using this amazing software to make pro thumbnails for your videos. So guys, we made a thumbnail, but you can also use Affinity Photo to edit photos in some really spectacular ways and basically turn them into art. I've got a picture of me, and if you go to the adjustment tab, here you have all of the classic photo editing elements. And if you tap the filters button up the top, you can do loads of really creative stuff, like I said, to basically make artwork with your own picture. So it's just a picture of me. Here we go, making a really disturbing pattern. You don't want to be making that, but you get the idea. What some people have done with Affinity Photo is absolutely amazing with their own personal images. Actually, if you tap on the styles tab, you get something really amazing here. You can see I did it on the thumbnail, Royale actually, just messing around with the game character and on some pictures of me too. But you have all of these different crazy styles, which I've never seen anything looking quite like this. I'm pretty impressed. You can even use things like the clone brush tool, which is on the left hand side. If you use that, you can actually clone different elements of your photo. So here we've got a game character, and we can give it a load of tails. We can add more flowers to her head as well. And with Affinity Photo, you can basically make your own unique images with just a tap of a button. So there we go, guys. Check out Affinity Photo and their other amazing apps as well via the link in the description. And remember, if you want to get yourself a free £50 license for this software, all you need to do is hit the like button on this video and drop a comment right now. We've got 15 licenses to give away. So let's get into the main part of the video. I think it's time to take a trip down memory lane. So we're going to get back to season 1, and we're coming up to about 2 years that I've been covering Battlelands on my channel. Show support and hit the like button if you're an OG player like me. And I would love to know, what's your favorite season in Battlelands Royale? Can you guess what my season is too? Drop me a comment if you think you can. Now it's time to get into this, guys. 1 versus season 11. Let's do this.